Ways to clean up this background, extend the backdrop so that it covers the whole area. I'm going to show you one that I found recently with Content Aware Move and Content Aware Fill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a copy of the layer. I'm going to go over to the tool here, Content Aware Move. It's the J. And I'm just going to draw around the area that I want to delete or that I want to move out of here, or that I want to fill. Whoops. To undo that, just kind of press Command D. I'll start over. So I'm just going to drive around, or I'm going to draw around the area that I want to delete or fill in. Doesn't have to be precise. And notice you're going to see you don't need a lot of backdrop space to extend it or to fill it. Then I'm going to go up to Edit, Content Aware Fill. And it's going to use AI, and it's going to pick from this purple area. The default is a rectangular for my settings right now. You can change some of those over here on the right, but you'll see here's the preview area of the fill that it did. It's pretty damn spot on, so I'm really not going to tweak it here. Again, I've got it set to do rectangular. You can change that. You can make it auto, and you'll see that it'll change the area and be a little smarter. That might work better in the next example. You can also kind of tweak the fill settings. I typically find the default with a little cleanup afterwards works really well, and then I output it to a duplicate layer. You can do that to the current layer, the new layer, or a duplicate layer. So then I'm just going to click OK, and it's going to complete its magic, and you'll see I have a completely extended backdrop, and it looks really well. There's a little bit of cleanup that I'll do here with a healing brush, but for the purposes of the demo, I'll call this good. And I'll come over here and I'll do the other side just because it's a little more complicated, right? It's a little bigger space, and there's not a lot of white here. So you're thinking, how is that really going to work, Todd? So I'm going to show you. You really don't need a lot of white because it's not extending the background, which is what I used to do. Grab some of that white and just kind of extend it. It's actually doing a fill. So I'm going to go Edit, Content Aware Fill. It's going to do its AI magic looking at the purple area. Notice I've set it to auto. And it gets pretty darn close. There's some of the shadows here that aren't as good as I'd like it. So I might take my brush and I might say, you know what, can you grab, let me change this. Whoops, I don't normally do this, so now I'm flying blind. But I could change the area. I could take my brush and I could paint over it. Okay, I have to hold the Option key. Sorry. And I could say, you know what, take more of this area here so it might fill in some of the shadow a little better. Here's my preview area. That's not as great as the rectangle, to be honest. So I'm going to go back to the rectangle. I think the rectangle actually works a little better. So you can kind of play around with those settings. For the purposes of the demo, I'm going to call it good. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now I've got my extended background. What I'll probably do in this case is come to the healing brush tool. And again, I'll kind of clean this up a little, just taking some selections there. And then I'll take a selection here and I'll extend out that shadow. If I can get it level, that would be nice. And I'll clean this up a little here so that it looks okay. There's a little line here that I'm going to go ahead and smooth out. And boom, with very little work, a little bit of cleanup, I've got my backdrop extended, but in this case we're actually content aware filling it. Hope you enjoyed that and it's helpful.